here we are. This is Sex Love Psychedelics, and I'm your host, Dr. Kat. Bringing you psychosexual conversations that will leave you intellectually turned on and hungry for more.
The beginning of your book, talking about the eating disorder that you had and talking about, there was something that made me tear up, truthfully. It was when you were saying how the story, talking about the story about how your breasts felt dangerous. Like if my breasts are this beacon for men's gaze and how dangerous that felt, of as in you're responsible for what happens to you and because you hold breasts. And I felt so connected, like that so connected to that story as a young woman and blossoming woman. I also wore double what do you call those, sports bras, and I wore big t-shirts to turn off my desirability because I also felt that was dangerous. I had sexual trauma when I was little, and so there was something inside of me that was like, make yourself as desexualized as possible as a way to protect yourself. So when you said that, I was like, the number of individuals that I've worked with, women and otherwise, who can relate with this but it's not talked about, is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very jarring being 13 years old and suddenly being pulled into this idea of womanhood without my consent. And suddenly it's like I'm a kid and I'm basically living for myself. And now suddenly I'm an object for the male gaze. And then I see TV shows and magazines where women's bodies are being shown off. And now it's like I'm suddenly one of them against my will. And that was very scary. That I might say traumatizing, even that you think you're just this kid going about your day and now suddenly you're like this symbol of lust for men.
Yeah, yeah. And I've even had in students over the years of, where their partner will say, I want you to wear this thing, or I want you to, embrace your body. You're so sexy. And it brings up this fear inside of them and clenching and this, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe doing that. But I'm pressured from society or pressured by my partner or pressured outside of me to be there for their entertainment or for their satisfaction, their enjoyment. Like how has our bodies become for somebody else versus for our own?
And it's sad because I want to care about partners' enjoyment and I want to be able to be an object of desire also. But then that becomes scary when you're taught that that's all that women are and you're made to be that against your will, then you don't want that. And it took me a lot of work, and I talk about that too, to even be open to people touching my breasts because I thought it was just giving guys what they wanted or allowing myself to be an object. And it doesn't have to be that. And it's a shame we don't learn. We almost cut the breasts off from the person. We learn that they're these visual decorations as opposed to that they can feel sensation and that they can be almost like this symbol of the heart. I mean, if there's ideas about that. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of like that idea that it's not just sexy, but it's my bosom, my heart center. And we cut the breasts off from the heart as if there's nobody in there feeling what happens to them.
Yeah, yeah. I take a lot of my clients or I teach students about breast massage and how to be able to be present as a way to help, reconnect them, breast health and the lymph flushing and, increasing the sensitivity and the awareness there. And it's such an emotional process for so many people because they're unconsciously ascribing all these meanings or all these past experiences of negativity that have caused a disruption of that relationship with their breasts. So it's so fascinating to go through this deconstruction process of what do my breasts mean for me, and how does that impact the way I relate or let other people relate to them.
That I had a sex coach who gave me breast massage exercises, and that was like a game changer for me to see, like, just thinking of them as like not just sexy but sexual, like that I could gain pleasure that way. And I realized that I could, but I had cut that off because it just felt too dangerous. It just felt like it was, I don't know, like then I was in some Girls Gone Wild video or something.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for tuning in, lovers. And if you want to experience more ecstasy and sexual liberation, head over to sexlovepsychedelics.com and learn about how you can join me for any one of my online or live events. And while you're there, grab my free guide on sex and psychedelics. Remember, this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please contact your healthcare provider and local law before pursuing any of the products or psychedelics discussed. And one final note here. I make this show specifically for you. If you're loving the show, then be sure to leave me a review in iTunes or Spotify to let me know. Happy to be here and happy to serve. I'll see you next time on Sex Love Psychedelics.